The paradox of a fraud and corruption-dominated system. A leadership, cultural, and criminal justice perspective, ***. MEF Foundation Monthly Lecture Series 9, Part 1. By Professor Mannixes Paul, Ph.D. November 27, 2025. Distinguished participants, colleagues, and scholars. Welcome to today's lecture, where we explore one of the most persistent challenges confronting governance and development. The paradox of a system dominated by fraud and corruption. This session aims to provide a clear, practical, and thought-provoking understanding of how corruption is publicly condemned and privately sustained within institutions. The persistence of fraud and corruption in many contemporary societies presents a profound paradox. Despite universal condemnation of such practices, they continue to dominate public institutions, community interactions, and everyday decision-making. This contradiction reveals an entrenched system where the knowledge of right and wrong does not automatically translate into ethical behavior. Instead, individuals and institutions are trapped in a cycle that normalizes wrongdoing even as it undermines development, justice, and collective well-being. This paradox forces us to interrogate the deeper layers of leadership culture, societal values, institutional weakness, and the psychological reasoning that allows corruption to flourish. At the forefront of this phenomenon lies the tone of leadership, which sets the moral temperature of any nation or organization. Leadership is not merely about occupying a position of authority. It is about shaping the ethical boundaries within which society operates. When leaders demonstrate integrity, transparency, and accountability, they inspire similar values in institutions and communities. But when leaders engage in fraud, manipulate processes, or remain silent in the face of wrongdoing, corruption becomes institutionalized. A society internalizes what its leaders permit. Thus, even the most sophisticated anti-corruption laws fail in an environment where leadership behavior contradicts the rules they endorse. Ethical leadership functions as both a deterrent and a moral compass. Without it, the system drifts into impunity, selective justice, and normalized misconduct. Understanding the paradox also requires a nuanced examination of culture, particularly the contrast between community-based communitarian cultures and rule-based institutional cultures. Community-based cultures prioritize relationships, group loyalty, kinship bonds, and informal networks of support. In such settings, actions that appear corrupt from an institutional perspective may be interpreted as moral